Well, son of a nutcracker, it is day 23 here on the first ever Mash and Drum Advent Calendar video series. Grinch, I see you got the King of Kentucky back, huh? Yes, why don't you have more of this one? Because it's friggin' impossible to get? Well, you're Jason C. You can get anything. Now he's trying to butter me up. I see what's happening. Tell me something more about King of Kentucky. Well, one of my favorite movies, and a lot of people's favorite movies to watch around this time of year, is called It's a Wonderful Life. Have you ever seen it? Yes, it's the one with Clarence and the Wings and that guy named George who talks funny. Yeah, don't forget about Mr. Potter. Oh yes, Mr. Potter. He's my favorite. Well, did you know the movie It's a Wonderful Life actually started off as a Christmas card? After years of unsuccessfully trying to shop a short story, The Greatest Gift, to publishers, Philip Van Doren Stern decided to give the gift of words to his closest friends for the holidays. A producer at RKO Pictures ended up getting a hold of the card, and he purchased the movie rights for a measly $10,000. Now, George Bailey's wife, Mary, was played by the beautiful Donna Reed, who actually got It's a Wonderful Life as her first big starring role. Okay, what does this have to do with King of Kentucky? And on top of that, even though it's being seen as an American classic today, It's a Wonderful Life, when it first came out, actually bombed at the box office. That was significant since the town of Bedford Falls was literally built from scratch. $3.7 million was the budget to make that movie back in the day. They built 75 stores, planted oak trees, factories, residential areas, and eventually that big long main street that George Bailey runs down at the end of the movie. All right, what about the king? Well, if you look closely, when Clarence and George Bailey walk into the bar in George's new life, when he doesn't exist anymore, the bartender is actually holding a bottle of King of Kentucky, one of the original brands from back in that era. Brown-Forman, as we know, has revitalized it, and that's the one you're holding today. So I am holding a piece of history. Well, not that particular bottle, but you know what I mean. Grinch you, I'm historical. Here we go, day 23. What's up, folks? Welcome back to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. I am Jason C. Like, subscribe, do all the things you need to do to help grow the channel for the rest of the year. If this is your first time watching an Advent Calendar video from me, this is how it works. A few weeks ago, I asked my mom and my girlfriend to pick 25 random bottles in my whiskey room. Anything. Make up 25 samples for the 25 days of Christmas for the first ever Mash and Drum Advent Calendar that I have named How Much Would I Pay? Mash and Drum Advent Calendar Countdown to Christmas Day. For the past 22 days, I've been opening up these blind samples, you know, nosing them, tasting them, trying to guess maybe what it is, guess the age, guess the proof, but ultimately determine how much I would pay for the whiskey. Then after I name my price, I reveal the sample in this advent calendar. We could see exactly what I was sipping on, and we could compare what I think my value is to the actual value. All right, let's go. Day 23, 2 days until Christmas. Let's do it. First, as always, let's check the color here. And this isn't super dark. It actually has a pretty light color to it, so I'm guessing something not too much age on it. And I'm guessing maybe a little bit of a lower proof, but you never know. Those are just some of the things you can maybe take off of the color sometimes, but that doesn't always work out. Here we go. All right, so it's a little bit youthful. Got a lot of corn, a lot of caramel, almost like Cracker Jack. It's like Cracker Jack candies in the glass. Brown sugar. Nuttiness. Immediately, I'm thinking it's Jim Beam. Immediately. All right, let's try it. Here we go. This is peanut butter in a glass. This, I'm calling it right now. It's got to be Booker's. It's got to be Booker's. This might be the quickest guess I have so far in the Advent Calendar series. If you guys don't know the story, Booker's was the bourbon that actually turned me on into bourbon. I was at a bar, and I was just getting into bourbon at the time, but I never had something at barrel proof until this bartender slid me a glass of Booker's, which I'd never tasted before at the time, and I wish I knew what batch it is. I didn't know enough about Booker's to ask what batch it was, which release it was. Since then, Booker's has always had a special place in my heart, but to me, it always has had this distinct flavor and texture to it. I don't know, if this is Booker's, I mean, this is a really good one. You get some of the dark fruit, you get some of that classic peanut nuttiness that you get from a good Jim Beam, maybe good Booker's. I mean, I'm all in on Booker's. If it's not Booker's, I'm gonna be pretty surprised. I mean, if I'm going by Booker standards, I would have probably guessed this is anywhere from 6 to 7 years anyway, I think. As far as proof goes, you're probably looking at 120. It's got a good proof point to it. As far as which release this is, I have so many Bookers on my shelf. I have no idea which one that they could have picked. But if I was paying for this bourbon, just nosing it and tasting it, yeah, I'd probably want this bottle to be closer to 70 or 80 bucks. Just because there is some youthful characteristic to it. But as we know, Booker's is about $100, but sometimes you can find it cheaper. So I'm going all in on the Booker's. Let's see what it is. Day 23. Oh my God, it is almost here. Let's see if I was right. Is this Booker's, or did I just go on about Booker's for no apparent reason? This is... not Booker's. Oh my gosh. All right, this is why you do blinds, guys. This is what makes it fun. All right, this is a barrel pick of George Remus. George Remus, 113.6 proof bourbon. Let me go get the bottle. All right, guys, George Remus. So I actually can't find the bottle. I don't know where it is or where they found it, but I do know that that is a barrel pick that I have of George Remus. However, this is the bottle for it. This is the bottle style, just have some different details on it, but oh my gosh. I mean, I got an immediate burst of peanut butter and fruit, and I totally thought it was Booker's, but it's a George Remus pick. 113.6 proof. These generally retail for about $65 to $70. So that's kind of where I wanted it to be. I said I already thought it was going to be about 6 to 7 years old, and it actually is 6 years old. And to be honest, that is an off-profile George Remus pick, because I just don't have many MGPs that have that much peanut butter in it. But let me know if you guys do. This was a big surprise, so really good pick by my mom and Kim. All right, so let's add George Remus to the advent calendar for day number 23. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this one. And with that said, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. Find me on Instagram. Let me know if you have any George Remus picks. What you guys think of them? Do you think they're good values? I actually really think they do. I think George Remus is still kind of one of the unsung bottles that not a lot of people talk about. Yeah, this is the Remus High Rye, which is also one of my sleepers this year. I just think that George Remus and Ross and Squibb, or MGP, whatever you want to call them, are doing a good job putting out some good, affordable bourbons. So with that said, like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. So cheers. And tomorrow, we'll see you right here for Christmas Eve. Happy holidays.